It's Tuesday, November 10th. Coming up live on The View. Hot topics are absolutely scandalous. From the rumors of a J-Lo honeymoon sex tape to whether the family are in fun of deaf people. And why a bailed-out Wall Street firm says they're doing God's work. Plus, Lawrence Fishburne's telling you how he's making TV history by appearing on all 3 CSIs. And why he turned down a lead role in the modern classic Pulp Fiction. And former Miss California Carrie Prejean is revealing how she's still paying the price for her stance against gay marriage. And if she dropped her lawsuit because of threats to expose her sex tape to the public. And supermarket guru Phil Lampert has a full menu of mouth-watering food hits and gag-worthy misses of 2009. Plus, an appetizing forecast of the hottest food trends for 2010. All that, hot topics, and more coming up live on The View.
To The View, honey. The TVs are burning up. Celebrity sex tapes are back in the headlines.
Thank goodness we were running out of things to talk about.
I'm telling you. Carrie Prejean is here today, who's dealing with a sex tape controversy of her own. And now Jennifer Lopez is suing her first husband for attempting to release honeymoon video that shows her in some compromising positions. The hell?
Every single new bride out there is like, "Woo, I better be careful."
When I get mad at Ohani Noah, who was J-Lo's husband, it's like, you did this on your honeymoon. It was I think it was, she was in skimpy underwear being spanked by Noah. Everybody does that. There was a scene of her checking herself out in her bra panties. She was on a motorcycle in a short skirt, no underwear. It's like, big deal. But, you know, when you get married, it's just a trust factor that you have. You're married, and the fact that he's trying to sell this, you should be you're ashamed of yourself. Plus, she gave you money to shut up. So because you didn't spend your money right, it's ridiculous.
Oh, Noah, you didn't.
Oh, Noah, you didn't. I love it. That's his name, Noah.
When you said, you know, so what, you can say, well, you know, she's not married, she's happily married, she has children, but that may be why she's doing this. It may be that she doesn't want someday her children to see it. But, you know, when we were talking about Carrie Prejean, who was a woman who was a runner-up in Miss California, and we're going to be talking to her later about the sex tape that she made, which, by the way, she did it by herself. I mean, she wasn't with anybody. She was doing it alone, which she then sent to a boyfriend. But...
Come on, y'all by yourself sometimes. Stop it.
I'm sorry, most people don't have a camera going, hey, this looks really good.
They have a mirror. The same thing in the mirror.
Mirror, it's you and the mirror.
No.
On the tape is you, the tape, and whoever gets the tape.
Well, that's the problem. But we'll talk to her later, but presumably she said that she did the sex tape to send it to her boyfriend. Maybe she thought that it would arouse him. So my question is...
Maybe. Yeah, done. If he didn't get aroused, he was gay.
I am dressed...
Seriously, come on now.
I am dressed very seriously. I'm about to ask a very serious question.
The girls are doing
Why does anybody do a sex tape?
Well, here's the problem.
What is it for?
I think it makes them
Can't you
famous.
just remember what it was like?
It makes them famous, Barbara. Where would Paris Hilton be today?
You want to do a sex tape?
Listen to the conflict of message that we're sending people, right? Like, don't do a sex tape, don't exploit yourself with telling teenage girls with their boyfriends, don't do this, don't email it, don't put it on your Facebook, whatever you have. And yet, we see things like you mentioned, Paris Hilton. Yeah. She had a sex tape to get a hamburger commercial after.
I have a question.
You think it's a good thing?
Do I think it's a good thing to do a sex tape? No, I don't think it's a good thing to do a sex tape. But, you know, I can understand why some married people want to make a tape of themselves.
I'm not talking about married. These are single.
I don't know. I don't think you should make a sex tape.
Is there a plan?
Before you do a question, could I just have an answer from one of you?
Go ahead,
Sherry. She gave you an answer.
Yeah.
Why?
You wanted to know why you would do a sex tape?
Yeah,
I think
to prove that you had sex once in a while after having 3 kids? I don't know.
Like a woman with 3
Sometimes,
children.
you know, you see these movies.
Single women.
You
That's
see
the
these
one
movies,
that
you do it, you think it's exciting, you think it might be fun, you want to capture it. But let me tell you, when you see your butt up in the air on that camera, it don't look so good.
Okay, so I have to ask this really dumb question. I think no one ever anticipates that their loved one is going to take that sex tape or that tape that you made for each other and put it either on the internet or sell it to some company.
Think again.
These are the new things you have to keep in mind.
Because
relationships now.
Because remember, in our day, Barbara, and yours and mine, I guess, they didn't. Well, all we had was a courtroom rendering. You know, you had an artist who would do the. Nowadays, you know, I mean,
That guy's so mad.
Drawings, of course.
He's so mad he can't draw that anymore.
Why don't these girls? Why don't you get rid of them? Why do you have to keep them in? Like that's what happened with Pam Anderson and Tommy Lee. They did it and then friggin' kept it. You do it and get rid of it. And
there are young women today in high school and college who make sex tapes of themselves.
Yes.
And send them not just to one boyfriend, but send them around. This is not new. Some of them have
Barbara,
been kicked out of school, and then they say, but everybody does it.
But the country has an obsession with pornography. A lot of people like it. So this is like pornography starring me. And people are getting off on that.
I think the country is obsessed with we have become a society where we think that everything that we do is interesting. We want everybody to know where we're pooping, when we're pooping, what we're doing. We want people to see us when we're taking our clothes off. You want to show everything because you lose it. We have become a nation full of exhibitionists.
This case right here, I think even with Carrie and maybe with J-Lo, that's not about letting everyone else see it. You know what I mean? I think this was something, a broken trust.
That's the question I wanted to ask you, because I think maybe you might know. How did this sex tape get out? How did it get out of her hands?
That's for Carrie to
Who
talk about when she gets out here.
So he had possession of the sex tape.
So I'm sure that this young lady never thought that this man would be so scummy low as to put out, not because she's just, because now she's got some fame. This is the thing that really makes me nuts. You know, he wouldn't have done it had she not become Miss California. Miss California. Most people. Well, that's what I'm saying, and it's so crappy.
We should, before you do a sex tape, just think that you're going to be famous one day. Go at it like that. If I'm famous one day, would I want this sex tape out? No.
And remember what your mama told you, or what our mamas told us. Get a quarter, put it in between your knees, and you will never have to worry about a sex tape. We'll be right back with more Hot Topics.
So that was great. We talked about the installation journey, which is all about sex trafficking. I, of course, forgot to say where. Washington Square Park on Green. If anyone can get something done about this, you can.
Once I got there. Is that my girl? Thank you so much.
Did you hear that? Oh, that was Lady T.
So, Barbara Walters has been going on and on about a whole pig thing. Yeah. She got a whole thing about pigs. She just got to talk about it. So come on, lay it on us, because we don't want to keep this away from the people.
This is not about swine flu. Different pig story.
It's a different pig.
No,
well, go ahead,
I don't even think it should be called swine flu. I think it's unfair to pigs.
All
Okay, nevertheless. So in the science section of the New York Times today. Now I love dogs, right? And I have the perfect dog.
Yes.
And I went to something last night for Bernadette Peters sang for Dog Box. Wonderful, wonderful. Having said that, pigs, it turns out, are smarter than any dog and almost any animal. They recognize themselves in mirrors.
I'm getting hungry just looking at that.
Just a second.
Yum.
They play video games with joysticks. They herd sheep. They make word-like sounds on command. They bow.
Give me a break.
Okay,
Give me a break.
You are
They are good to be fried up and eaten. I'm a what? What did you call me?
Pigget.
I'm a pigget.
I just want to point out that they only look like that for a very short amount of time. They grow. They can grow to be this big. They like mud and they like stuff, and it's all cute until someone falls in the mud.
Excuse me.
I'm just saying, Barbara. I know you like him.
George Clooney had a pet pig.
And where is it now?
He died a normal, natural death. Now,
who ate it?
I would like... Nobody. It was buried. I don't want to hurt the pork industry. Everybody can do what they like.
That's right.
But now that I know how smart little pigs are,
Have you ever
and the
tasted
two people are
slices of
piggers,
bacon?
I will not eat bacon again.
You will not eat
wait a
bacon
minute.
again.
So your position is that
I don't eat dog,
Barbara.
and I won't eat little pigs.
Wow.
Some cultures eat dogs.
I
Wow.
only do.
My good question to you
Yes.
is if the animal is intelligent, then it should be spared. So what about all the dumb animals? That's rather
So
discriminatory.
Darwinian.
And who is saying, and who are we to call them dumb? We can't speak their language. They can speak ours. But there was a massive recall of McLaren strollers. I want to give you some information that every parent should know about.
Yes.
Now, about 1 million umbrella strollers sold in the U.S. since 1999 are being recalled.
Okay.
1 million. 15 reports of children placing their fingers in the stroller's hinge mechanism, and some of them have been amputated. They will provide a free kit to cover the stroller's hinge mechanism, instructional video available on YouTube.
And a replacement finger for those child.
You know,
I'm just kidding.
You know,
It's not
the
funny, but
effective,
Take your McLaren
but if you have a
strollers in.
moment, here are the affected models. Volvo, Triumph, Quest Sport, Quest Mod, Techno XT, Techno XLR, Twin Triumph, Twin Techno, and Easy Traveler.
Some of us have had every one of those strollers.
So if you got these, probably it's a good idea to take them in, or go to our website on The View, and we'll give you all the instructions for doing that. Now, I went to an amazing memorial yesterday for my friend Mary Travers. You probably know her as part of Peter, Paul, and Mary. And I just wanted to say it was one of the, and we were in a church, which you know is rare for me. It was one of the most amazing experiences. I don't know what happened, but Pete Seeger was there, and George McGovern was there, and Max Cleland was there, and just people singing. Judy Collins and folks sang, and it was a real celebration of a great woman. And I just wanted to say to Peter and Paul, thank you for the opportunity, A, of getting to hear her sing, but B, of asking me to come to this thing, because I played everything when I went home. I put on the music, and I sang every song, and I knew all the words to everything. It was really great. So anyway.
It was such a period of such wonderful...
It was
You know, it was
amazing.
anti-Vietnam, a lot of it, but most of it, but they were just wonderful songs.
And Sherry, what's happening with you? You
Oh,
got
my
something
show,
going on?
Sherry, will be on Lifetime tonight from 9 to 11 with an original episode at 10
Yes,
o'clock.
yes.
And also, I'll be in Harlem this Saturday at the Human Bookstore signing my book, Permission Slips. And I'll be at Lord & Taylor today signing permission slips.
She's
Come out, y'all.
And along with the book, she's showing her sex tape.
Now, that's
you
only
know,
if you get with me.
I'm getting even with you. You bet.
You
on
know
my shelf.
the Family Guy. You know the show The Family Guy?
Yes.
People are calling creator of The Family Guy, Seth MacFarlane, offensive for putting on a show that featured a spoof of deaf actress Marlee Matlin singing Lady Gaga's Poker Face. Now, I want you to take a look at this.
I get him hot, show him what I got. I get him hot, show him what I got. Give me my poker face. Give me my poker face.
Okay, so now you saw that. Yeah. Now, did you find that offensive? Okay. Does
Only a few people said yes.
Does it make it less offensive if you see that Marlee Matlin was not only there at the show, but she was in on the joke.
And looking gorgeous.
And looking gorgeous. Now, what she's saying, and the reason we're doing it this way is so that you can see that Marley was there and participated. What she is now doing is she is doing not Tina, what is, oh my God, my brain just went.
What she's doing is
What is the actress's name?
Mo,
anyway, the young lady who was the actress from Family Guy, Marley is now making fun of her. She's doing an imitation of her, which is rather funny and rather interesting.
She's doing fat
jokes, but she's also saying, you know, I wanted to be in movies, boo-hoo-hoo, I can't be in movies because I'm too fat. I mean, it's really quite interesting.
Just to show her how it feels when you're being attacked like that in humor, and she gave it right back to her.
And Marley said she was not offended. She's dealt with everything with humor. She felt people should lighten up. And that, you know, Seth MacFarlane, they make, you know, Family Guy makes fun of
everybody.
Everything. But there's still some people that, excuse me, were deaf that still may have been offended.
Does he make fun of himself?
I think
so, yes.
I think the fact that Marley did it is fine, and that's her feeling. But I don't think that any what's the word I want? Affliction, any of it. Any handicapped should be made fun of, even
You have to ask the handicapped that. You have to ask them.
You know, that happens a lot, but, you know, talk to stutterers about being made fun of.
Disney's
That's all I
Up
say.
just came out on DVD, and you guys are all going home with a copy.
And we will be right back with the amazing Lawrence Fishburne. Yay!
Super Tease time again. Here are the producers. Here is the board. And Wednesday, Jen.
Woody Harrelson is coming on to tell us about his new movie, The Messenger, and telling us why it's his most difficult and proudest role to date.
Thursday.
Rachel Ray is coming on to tell us about her 10 favorite recipes of all time.
Jamie.
Another couple was voted off of Dancing with the Stars this week, and they're here to do their last dance.
Friday, huge day. Whoopi's birthday. Dana.
One of her favorite authors, Stephen King, is coming by to tell you about his new book. It's 1,000 pages of horror.
Jamie.
And Dr. Gadget's here with Whoopi's favorite things, the biggest giveaway we've ever given our audience.
Jonathan.
And to help celebrate Whoopi's birthday, we have Kool and the Gang, one of her favorite groups of all time.
Rachel.
For Whoopi's birthday cake, we had to bring in the big guns, the Ace of Cake stuffed Goldman. Made something special just for Whoopi.
Fishburne has really made his mark since joining the ranks of CSI, and now he's on the hunt to solve a crime that will have him appearing on every CSI in prime time. Look.
So how did she cross paths with Madeline?
Well, you said that the earring belonged to Madeline, right?
Right. Well, if she and Dee Dee were sharing jewelry, it suggests they were living together. So maybe they had the same pimp.
Possibly, but the Vice Tattoo database didn't ID the pimp.
What's today's date?
The 15th.
I think I know where we can find a lot of pimps tonight.
Wow. So please welcome back the incredible Lawrence Fishburne.
Securing his masculinity to have flowers on his jeans.
I have flowers on my jeans.
And butterflies.
And butterflies. And a hummingbird. And
now, I don't even want to ask about the tape.
And
but
okay. About the tape?
No tape.
No tape.
You never made it.
No, I never made a tape.
Thank goodness. Now, this is your second season on CSI.
Yes.
Playing criminology professor.
Yes.
Turned forensic detective.
Yes, Dr. Ray Langston.
Dr. Ray Langston.
Yeah.
This week you're going to Miami and New York and a couple of... What are you doing? You just go... What's going on?
Here's what happened. I got the job. They came to me at the beginning of this season and said, how would you feel about doing a crossover where you go to Miami and you go to New York and we come back to Vegas? And I thought, well, yeah, that makes sense to me. I mean, all the shows are called CSI.
Right.
So they came up with this story that's kind of taken from real life where there's these human trafficking rings. It kind of relates to some of the stuff you guys were talking about today, where these young women are forced into prostitution,
That was
or
yesterday.
Yesterday we
or,
did, yeah.
yeah, or
Sex
you know, sex slaves or whatever it is, and when they refuse, they are killed, they are dismembered, and their bodies are then put into these trucks, and the trucks drive across country, and their limbs are sort of scattered about. It's horrible. It's very horrible. So they created a story that starts in Miami with a body part, an arm, and a leg. The leg is from Nevada. The arm is in Florida. The CSI team in Miami calls Vegas. I go to Miami. We investigate. We solve one murder. Then there's something that happens that takes me up here to New York. And then finally it brings me all the way back full circle to Las Vegas. So that's the premise.
Does any of this get to you? Does any of the the gruesome part get? And also conversely, have you learned anything being this professor?
This whole experience, what I learned is, yes, it does get to me. When we tell these stories about these horrible things that happen to people, of course it gets to me.
But is it worse than playing Ike Turner?
No. But the thing that comforts me, and I think the reason that people like these shows, is because we work with real CSIs, and we talk to them, and they tell us their stories, and I take comfort in knowing that there are people in the world who have dedicated themselves and their lives to catching people who do horrible things.
Yeah.
There are people that's what they do. They hunt these people down.
And there's a lot of horrible things.
The guy that works with us, a guy named Larry Mitchell, told me a story about some serial killers and a spree they went on for however long. He said it took them 3 years to catch them. But when he said it, I realized, wow, he spent 3 years of his life every day thinking about nothing but catching these people.
Doing the real thing.
Doing the real thing.
I was reading that before you got this job, you didn't watch television for 15 years.
Pretty much, yeah.
Any particular...
Except for you guys, in the morning with my wife.
You're telling the truth?
I would get up in the morning and watch TV with my wife, because my wife loves TV. She has good taste in TV, and she watched you guys, so I would watch with her.
But you never watched any other shows?
But I didn't watch,
I have to ask you a question, because this I find enormously interesting. As an actor of color,
yes, ma'am.
You know, it is important that we look and are versatile.
Yes, ma'am.
But do you think you were carrying versatility a little further along when you asked that your character be North Korean?
No, South Korean.
South Korean.
No, I don't.
North Korean would have been okay.
Let me tell you. And it was an article in the paper yesterday about a young man who plays football for the Steelers.
Right.
Whose ancestry is Korean and African American.
Yeah.
And he brought this group of children from South Korea, biracial children here, and he's doing this work with them because they're looked down upon and they're treated badly and blah, blah, blah. And I just thought it would be interesting because CSI has an international audience, and the South Koreans awarded CSI with their highest award for media or entertainment last year. So I thought that would be a way to,
Here's something, along with Whoopi, that I did not know. The film Pulp Fiction.
Yes.
Quentin Tarantino wrote a role with you in mind.
Yes, he did.
And you told him you couldn't do it.
Well,
what was the role and why?
I didn't tell him I couldn't do it. I basically decided not to do it because I didn't really respond to the part. The part is the part that Sam Jackson wound up playing brilliantly.
Yeah.
I mean, Sam Jackson steals the movie. No.
You did? Listen, is there something in your gut?
Listen, for me, it just, as a whole piece, it didn't speak to me. I didn't feel like it was something that I needed to do. Like, sometimes you read something and you go, I have to do that. That didn't happen for me in Pulp Fiction. When I saw Reservoir Dogs, I thought, this is a filmmaker I would like to work with. But it just didn't speak to me in that way. And I'm glad I didn't do it because Sam is a bad...
Yes, he is. Now, you know what? You are delicious every time you come. We love you. We love having you. CSI Crime Scene Investigation airs Thursday nights. Check your local listings. And we will be right back with former Miss California, Carrie Prejean.
Her quest to be crowned Miss USA knocked Carrie Prejean right into one of America's most hotly debated topics. In case you forgot what happened, here's how things got. rather ugly, at the beauty pageant. Take a look.
Thank you.
And Carrie Prejean feels that because she said that, her chances were totally diminished, and she was accused of all kinds of things. Please welcome Carrie Prejean. Welcome, Carrie.
Let's talk.
We should say that Carrie has written a book about her experiences. It's called Still Standing, which goes into more detail about what happened. But let's deal with this, because you said after this, especially by liberals, you've been called a bitch and a bigot and a Nazi, and your life has been threatened, and you no longer have a job, but you do have a book. But all do you think happened because you expressed that opinion?
Absolutely.
Everything can be traced to that. Mm-hmm. Okay. So let me try to give the other side, if there is one. At first, Donald Trump, who was the owner of the pageant, stood by you and defended you and said you could remain Miss California. And then he said, or the organization said, I want to make this quite clear, that you were not honoring the contract of the organization. Topless photos of you emerged, and then last week, a sex tape surfaced of you. You alone, doing whatever you were doing with yourself, and they said that it was extremely sexually graphic and very disturbing. Now, there was a morals clause in your contract, as there are in many contracts. Could it be possibly that you were let go not because of that remark, but because of some of these other things that I've just mentioned?
I don't think so. I think that, for the past 7 months, we have to remember this. And you know what? I take full responsibility for this tape that's out. I was immature. I was young. I trusted my boyfriend at the time.
17 she was.
Were you 17?
Yes. I trusted my boyfriend at the time. Never in my wildest dreams did I think that it would actually be coming out. Not saying that that's okay, that it wouldn't come out, but it was the biggest mistake of my life. And it's embarrassing even talking about this right now. I've been on national TV discussing the worst mistake of my life. I mean, how many people are comfortable doing that?
Well, you did it also because you got a book out.
Right, but I think that the biggest thing is that, I was attacked for my answer.
Yeah.
Everybody saw it.
Carrie, you say you were 17 at the time of the tape, right? So when now these reports are saying that this could have been they can't even release it because this tape is so vile and so raunchy that's why they can't release it.
I was in the tape by myself.
But if you were 17 at the time, isn't it illegal to release a tape? Isn't that why they're not releasing it? Because they would be under criminal charges if
you make a tape by yourself, a sex tape by yourself? I'm just curious.
It was a personal thing, and no one's perfect, and I never said I was perfect. In my book, I talk about how young women all the time are doing this.
They are.
And nothing is private anymore. Nothing is private. And, when you're young and you think, I'll never be famous, I'll never be a celebrity, like you said earlier, think you will.
But, Ms. Prejean, you made the tape. You have photos of yourself. You didn't go along with the morals clause, which is in the pageant's rules, and yet you say that you're a victim. I don't totally buy it.
Did you see the attacks that I was under? Did you see the names that I was called?
It's fine.
I want to ask you. Do you?
Some of it, yes.
Really? And what do you think of that?
I thought it was okay for you to say your peace of mind, and I said that on the show.
Because I think that
but I also wonder why you say you're Pallinized.
Every American is allowed to express her own opinion. Every American is able to express her own opinion.
There are a lot of people who defended you, too. And as a matter of fact, there were a lot of people who, it's deplorable that happened to you. On the other hand, it's the best thing that happened to you. Isn't it?
Maybe I would argue maybe from a professional standpoint, but Carrie, understandably, you've been through a lot on a personal level. I mean, you expressed your opinion. I personally don't think you would be attacked. Would you have said something different than you did? You said you believe marriage is between a man and a woman.
Barack Obama agrees with me.
Barack Obama had said the exact same thing.
And I was representing the state of California, who we voted against this. What's so bad about saying a marriage is between a man and a woman?
Are you worried
That's my opinion.
Are you worried that more, say, ex-boyfriends are going to come forward and try to, I don't know,
you know what? For the
attack
past 7 months, every single one of my ex-boyfriends has been called. Even guy friends of mine have been called that are living in foreign countries. And people are asking, do you have any dirt on Carrie? For the past 7 months, that's what they've been trying to do.
You had brought this, you had brought a suit against the Miss California organization for libel, slander, and religious discrimination. Then last week, you dropped the suit. The pageant had a copy of this sex tape. Did you drop the suit because you didn't want the tape released, or What was the reason you dropped the suit?
Everything that was discussed in mediation was supposed to be private, and I signed a contract, and I'm not about to break that contract. So if I'm the only one that's upholding this contract, then I'm going to stand by that because I made a promise.
They seem to be in breach of it.
I have a question. I actually think you answered the right way. You answered the question, which was, what do you think?
Yeah.
So I'm
agree with that.
Yeah, I think it's all right. I'm not sure that Perez Hilton has that much juice. He's got a lot of juice, but I'm not sure he's got that much. But my question for you is, as a Christian young woman, because you're a nice Christian girl, how do you... I said that with absolute love.
They know.
They know. You did.
How do you feel about the sex tape that you did? Even though you're 17, were you... I don't know how to ask this.
Were you a Christian when you were 17? Were you a Christian when you did the tape?
Yeah.
You know, my faith has definitely, progressed throughout the years. But I think that, the issue is not about what it's called. People can call it whatever they want to call it.
I'm just asking because one of the ways that you have been described
Christians
is...
aren't perfect.
Wait, I didn't say that Christians were, and I'm simply saying if you have presented yourself and can make edicts about others' way of life, are you surprised that you're getting the same sort of backlash?
Well, I think that the biggest thing is that I expressed my view. I was in front of millions of people. And
as we are
and
here
people
now.
weren't happy with that. I mean, can you
Some
imagine
people were
giving
not.
your opinion?
I'm sorry,
Many people, most of us were. Many people did stand by.
Well, no one came to my defense,
We
really.
did. I'm sorry, we did on this show.
Thank you.
Let me just bring up one more thing in the book, and that is, in the book, you write that during rehearsals, Donald Trump came to meet the contestants, and he went in and said, "You're hot and you're not," and divided them and so on, which is what you have written. We understand that he feels that this never happened, and that he may even sue you for saying this. That he did meet all of the women, but that he never said, "You're hot, you're not, you're in, you're out."
No, he didn't say, "You're hot, you're not."
What you have said in the book.
In my book, I talk specifically about what happened, and there are 50 other girls that will testify.
No, I'm talking about what you said in the book, which was that Donald Trump separated. You're in, you're... He says he didn't.
He said, "California, step forward. Who do you think is the most beautiful girl on this stage?" I had to say, Alabama. Alabama, come forward. That's exactly what happened.
But that's not what you said. What in the book? What if you say, who do you think? That's perhaps a way of getting to understand people. But what you suggested was that it was a little, let's say, purient.
You can take it however you want to take it. But there's 50 other girls that will testify and say that's exactly what happened.
I can only say what you said and what he said. This is all I'm trying to do is give the facts.
I'm not worried about you, Carrie.
No one should be scrutinized because they have an opinion in this country one way or the other. And I do think you were unfairly scrutinized because of your opinion.
You know what? It happens all the time, but I don't think that was the reason you lost the crown.
No,
That's what I'm saying.
None of us believe that.
I'm not sure that was it.
And that's your opinion. We can all have our own opinions.
And you know what? I defend you. You defend me. We look out for each other and hope your book sells.
Okay, the bottom line is that there are a lot of people who didn't defend you and a lot of people who do. Nobody does a better job of defending you than you.
Thank you.
We give you a lot of credit. We thank you for coming on. And now she's got a book on. If this hadn't happened, there would have been no book. And all of you are now going home with a copy of Carrie's book. It's called Still Standing. And we'll be right back with the biggest food hits in Michigan 2009.
Big hits at the supermarket this year, some recipes for disaster. And we're getting the full menu right now, plus a forecast of food trends for 2010 from supermarket guru Phil Limpert. Phil! Okay, what were the hits?
Well, let's start down here. Whoopi already started on the hit.
What was
Number
that?
one hit, Healthy Choice, with their new Asian pot stickers. I love this. Redesigned package and also redesigned real food as ingredients.
How's it taste?
And also a study just came out about 2 weeks ago at the obesity meeting. Well, we're going to share it with everybody afterwards. But what they actually found is eating Healthy Choice can actually help reduce type 2 diabetes, and I'm going to actually work with them to get that message out there to everybody. So Also, Mr. Q cucumber soda. You got to try this. No high fructose corn syrup. And here, Whoopi, just take a whiff of it. Aroma like a fine wine.
It's really good.
No,
There's
it's
no
good.
fructose in this?
No high fructose corn syrup, just cane syrup. Add a little gin or vodka to it, you're set. Also,
that'll get a good sex tape going.
Pitter patties. Now, what I love about pitter patties, a lot of people are really pitter patties. They're for kids.
What are they?
They're vegetarian, and what I like about these. Take a bite. Take a bite. What I love about this product is you're not hiding vegetables for kids. You're really teaching them what vegetables are supposed to taste like. An excellent product.
I'll try
Now,
for
you're still eating there. I want you to taste this. This is hemp oil.
What? Hemp oil?
Hemp oil. Now, what I want you to do, well, no, you don't drink it. What you got to do, take a little in a spoon and then send it, or with your finger, and then just send it back.
What does it do?
Well, you put it on salads. You can cook with it.
This is really good.
No, it is not that hemp.
Oh, that's what I thought, yeah.
No.
Are you hungry now?
Hemp is the same plant as marijuana, with different number of leaves. You can't produce hemp in the U.S. It's imported from Canada. Very rich in omega-3s, 6s, and 9s.
Okay. What is all this?
Here's what we're talking about, some misses. Now, if you take a look at this, this is vegetarian jerky. Vegetarian jerky. Now, it's made from mushrooms. I love the concept of it. No, I love it.
No,
I'm sorry.
Jerky is meat.
No, not this way. But what I don't, the reason it's a miss is it's in one package. Then try to open up that while we get to the next one.
Wow.
Now, this one we need Barbara for.
this
Barbara,
is
where
pork
are you? Come here.
rinds.
Come here, quick.
I'm here.
Okay.
They're pig.
These are pork rinds.
No,
yeah, you were talking before.
I do not want to hurt the pork industry.
No.
No. Vegetarian jerky. No.
Here,
No.
some bad jerky.
Everybody who wants to eat pork should do it. It's delicious, but no.
Okay,
Good. Pig barber is good.
But MSG is one of the ingredients.
What's that?
Now,
What's
I love this product from McCormick. This is a new way of buying spices. On the back of the card, it gives you the recipe. It tells you what to buy for the food, and then you just pop it off, and it's a picture of it.
Exact amount,
and they're all very fresh.
Really cool.
Now, the big trend
Now,
just take the whole thing.
These are the trends for 2010.
Trend
These are
for
what people are using.
2010. This is the anti-energy trend. Everything's been energy drinks.
Yes.
This is the chill out beverages. This is
chill-out
iChill. Drink, put you right to sleep.
Well, I just want to tell everybody in the audience is taking home some of the products seen here today. We're going to be right back.
Have a great day and take a little time to enjoy the view.